What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Nice to Mitra. So I don't know if you guys remember, a few weeks back on my Instagram, I did an Ask Me Anything on my story. I took some of those questions that required a longer answer than 15 seconds, and I am going to answer them for you today. So let's get to it. So the first thing is, what got me into fitness, and are there times that I don't feel like working out? Literally all the time. I feel like every day, even though I exercise constantly, I still struggle with getting myself up and making it happen. Love the serotonin, but it still is really difficult. What got me into fitness was I was a dancer my entire life and thought I basically came out of the womb with a six-pack, and once you stop dancing, you realize that that really isn't the case. The hardest part is just putting your clothes on and getting there. So if I have any advice, that's my advice about it. So next is, were your parents supportive of your tattoos? Oh my God, absolutely not. I gave my parents such a hard time with getting tattooed. I think I had like 4 before I left high school. I got my first one at 14. My mom was extremely pissed off. I mean, as parents should be when you're a child getting tattooed, but the fact of the matter is, my parents loved me no matter what, and after a while, they just were kind of like, okay, I guess this is who you are, and accepted me after that, so I was very lucky. My parents are super cool about it now. What is your favorite thing about yourself? I think the best thing about me is how genuine I am. I feel like I'm really true to who I am as a person. I feel like I'm a really great friend, great family member, and I got a lot of love to give, and I've gone through crazy struggles in my life. Anytime I go through anything now, I definitely have a different outlook on it because I know that I'm going to become so much more whole from it. You know, the struggles that I go through have just made me who I am today. I always say the sweet is never as sweet without the sour. So all the bad stuff, even when I am down in the dumps, I just know that it's really just making me even more me. So I love that. Bring on the struggles, I can handle it. Favorite place I have traveled to so far. So I actually just got my passport a couple of years ago, and I went to Paris and Barcelona. That's the only really vacation I went on outside of the country. Besides that, I've basically just been to Florida to visit my mom. Barcelona changed my life. I feel like the energy there was so different. I actually went into like this weird depression when I got home because I was like, why don't I live here? I was looking at places to live. I was looking at jobs out there, and I started selling all my stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm being a little impulsive, but Barcelona is where it's at. So next question, what is your go-to comfort food? I love junk food, and I feel like this is such a stigma about vegans, is that they always eat healthy, and that is absolutely not the truth. I feel like I am the perfect example of that. I am obsessed with tacos. I am obsessed with burgers. It's probably all I eat. I really am trying to be better about it, but okay, next. What are your feelings on friends and people who aren't vegan? I honestly don't have that many plant-based, vegan, vegetarian friends, unfortunately. I am not judgmental towards people who aren't. I feel like everyone is entitled to their choice, their opinions, but I really don't like if people try to preach their beliefs on me because I don't do that to them. I am very passionate about my plant-based lifestyle. It's everything to me, so don't try and change my mind, and I won't try and change yours. But if you are interested in it, definitely ask me about it. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. That's how I feel. What is your worst nightmare? Oh my God. I feel like I have a lot of things that I could potentially worry about. I think that I am terrified of failing, and I'm terrified of not becoming the person that I really feel like I'm destined to be. I'm extremely ambitious and motivated, and I have so much that I want for myself in my life, and it would really just kill me if my dreams didn't come true. I feel like that's my biggest thing. Craziest tattoo related story. Oh my goodness, I feel like I have so many. I heard one of my favorite bands at this time. I heard the guy drumming on the table behind this fence. I called his name and they peeked their head over. Their names are the Dodos. And I was like, if you guys come outside and sign my hip, I'll go and get a tattoo tonight. They drew like these weird things on me and signed their initials, and one of my buddies had a tattoo machine. He was really drunk and doesn't even remember, and it looks like he doesn't even remember because it's so bad. I love it. It's a good story. I was obsessed with the band, and I actually saw them play again a few years later and got to show them that I had the tattoo, and they were like, I can't believe that you did that. It looks like shit. I'm like, yeah, I know, but how did you become so confident? I definitely have my own insecurities, but I feel like it's how I dealt with my insecurities that have really kind of shaped me into loving who I am genuinely and fully. I was very bullied when I was younger. I feel like it all just came with time and reminding myself constantly that I am the only me, the only Mitra in the entire world. That's really, really special. The fact that in the entire universe, there's only one you, and you have so many things that make you unique. Remind yourself that you're special just as you are really helps you get there. Anybody can do it, I think. Just takes a little bit of work. Have you ever had a falling out with a best friend, and how did you recover? I honestly can say that I don't have any friends that I have any sort of resentment to, and I feel like that's something that's just come with age. You know, you really realize like it's not the end of the world if someone isn't in your life anymore. And I just really think that the people that are in your lives are there because they're supposed to be, and if they aren't there anymore, it just means that they weren't meant for you. Where are you from, and what was your upbringing like? I am from Salt Lake City, Utah. My family is Iranian, and I grew up in a very, very white neighborhood where everyone was super Mormon and my family wasn't. And I was definitely the black sheep, and I had a hard time with that growing up. I always knew that I didn't belong in Utah. I felt it in my body. I was like, this is not for me. So from a very young age, actually, I knew I wanted to move to California, and it's so crazy being in LA. I'm like, oh my God, all my dreams have kind of come true. It's really, really amazing. I had the best family on the planet, and they are still the coolest people I have ever and will ever know. So I'm very grateful for all of them. I have good people in my corner for sure. What inspires you? Honestly, I feel like my friends inspire me the most. I am surrounded with so many amazing, driven, creative people that are always trying to do better. I feel like that's one thing I think is so awesome in LA, is that everyone that's here is trying to do something great. That's why people come here, is to really make dreams come true. Do you see kids in your future? I used to when I was younger. Right now, the way the world is, I feel very strange about having children, and I love my friends' kids. The world is weird, and I feel like, will I be a bad mom if my kid's the only kid that doesn't have an iPad and an iPhone? You know, will my kids be bullied for me not allowing them to have candy because I wouldn't? I feel like I would be really strict. Who knows, maybe one day my mind will change, but for right now, I don't see it happening, but we'll see. No hard feelings for anyone that has kids. I love your kids. Did you ever have a breakup that made you feel completely broken? Yes. I dated this guy on and off for 5 years, and I thought that I would never be able to get over that. I had another relationship for 4 years. I'm honestly like such a monogamous chick, but I feel like the most grateful person on the planet to have gone through what I went through, because it has completely made me who I am today. I think I really just realized that relationships and breakups and feeling like you will not survive this is exactly what makes you who you are. I feel like getting your heart broken is essential to your life. Now I'm very happy, and I am great on my own, and I feel very whole. I say that a lot, but I am very whole, and I love that about myself. Have you ever gotten tired of your tattoos? Yes. I always think like, what would I look like without tattoos? And it's weird because I started getting tattooed so young that I don't think I've ever really had the opportunity to not be a tattooed person. It's just a part of who I am, but I always have times that I'm like, oh my God, this one looks really bad. I wish I didn't have that, but memories, experiences, it has become me. So yeah, no regrets, I guess. How do you do your eyebrows? Honestly, my mom always says in Farsi, "Eyebrow to bezan bala," which means put your eyebrows up. So I always am going like this to keep them this nice arch shape. But again, being Iranian, I just have these crazy eyebrows, and they've just kind of, plucking them and stuff has just kind of made them this way. So thankfully I never over plucked, because they don't really grow here anymore. So I would be screwed if I overdid it, but they're okay. But thanks for asking me. Do you play any instruments? I was actually a big orchestra nerd from when I was in 6th grade until I graduated high school. I still know how to play. I still have my cello. I mean, I got these crazy nails, so it makes it a little more difficult. It's definitely something I'd like to get back to for sure. What is your favorite thing about LA? My favorite thing about LA is how much there is to do here. We're super, super lucky here, but I feel like LA is a really hard place to live in the beginning. I definitely had a hard time. I was very lonely. I couldn't really find my footing, and I didn't know if I would last in the beginning, but I'm so glad I toughed it out. But any show you want to see, your band is coming here. Anything that you want to possibly do, you can do it in LA. It's definitely a dog-eat-dog world out here, but if you meet the right people and you find your pack, I feel like it is the most beneficial, amazing, beautiful place. I am obsessed with LA for sure. Are you an early morning or a night person? I am such a morning person. I don't remember the last time I watched a movie because I fall asleep literally doing anything. I worked at a job for 4.5 years that I woke up at 5:45, 6 days a week, every single day. Are you single because you don't want to get hurt again? No, I am single because I just absolutely love myself. I love dating myself. I am my own best friend. I just really don't need anybody. I feel like, you know, lots of times people get into relationships that they aren't fully satisfied in just because they want to be with someone, because they have that codependency, and that's just something that I don't have in my body. I don't feel like I need anybody. I love just hanging out alone. I love taking myself out on dates. I love doing things by myself, and I love not having to answer to anybody and just, you know, going to the beat of my own drum. I feel very comfortable in single life, and if one day someone comes and the time I spend with them is suddenly better and more special than the time I spend with myself, then I will entertain it. But for right now, it's just not necessary in my life, and I love being alone. I feel like there's something really beautiful to be said about having the ability to just be by yourself, and I feel like it's taken for granted. I feel like loneliness is underrated because it's really beautiful to be alone. I don't know, that sounds kind of weird, but I think so. I love being alone. And I have my dog and my 2 cats, so like, I'm good. I don't need anybody else. What are some things you can't live without? I cannot live without headphones. I am definitely that loser that always has my AirPods in anywhere I go. I am listening to music constantly. I don't know what I would do without my Spotify. I couldn't live without my family or my animals. That goes without needing to be said, but those are my things. All right, you guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I have a ton more questions, but I feel like it requires another video because they're all advice related. I would love to give you guys my advice, so definitely keep an eye out for the next video, and thanks so much for watching. Till next time.